Ladies and gentlemen, a good morning and a warm welcome to all of you. I am Shriyal Setumadhu, the conference producer of the Smart Lift and Mobility World, and I am delighted to have each one of you with us for the Bangalore edition of the Future Building and Smart Mobility Summit 2026. Bangalore, the Silicon Valley of India, a city defined by its rapid transformation from the garden city to a global tech powerhouse. It is a city that thrives on innovation, where the future of work and living is being rewritten every day. Together, we gather at the BIEC to connect real estate leaders, architects, and mobility pioneers to redefine urban spaces for tomorrow. Following the successes of our editions in the city of Hyderabad, Chennai, and Mumbai, this summit lands in Bangalore to address how we build smarter, move faster, and live more sustainably. This edition of the Future Building and Smart Mobility Summit, as you know, is being held as part of our mega 3-day event, the Smart Lift and Mobility World 2026. Organized by Virgo Communications, the event is India's only integrated expo for elevators, escalators, mobility solutions, parking systems, building access, and allied components. It connects real estate developers, architects, policymakers, mobility innovators, and facility management leaders. It is a mega event comprising 3 days of the SLM World Expo 2026 that we inaugurated yesterday. So from the 5th to the 7th of February, Elevator World India Summit 2026, which was held yesterday successfully. The Future Building and Smart Mobility Summit 2026 Bangalore edition, for which we all have gathered here today. Also, the evening today will witness the Smart Lift and Mobility Awards 2026 and the Elevator Safety Run, along with the training programs for elevator experts, will be concluded tomorrow, concluding this mega event. So let us inaugurate the grand opening with the auspicious lighting of the lamp. I will invite the following dignitaries to kindly proceed towards the lamp in front of me and join us for the lamp lighting ceremony. Requesting Ms. Anita Raghunath, the Director of Virgo Communications and Exhibitions, to please join us. Mr. Raghunath G, Director of Virgo Communications and Exhibitions. Our Chief Guest, Mr. Bhaskar T. Nagendrappa, President, CREDAI, Karnataka. Keynote speaker, Architect Dinesh Verma, Principal Architect and Managing Director, ACE Group Architects. Mr. Anil Nayak, CEO, CREDAI, Karnataka. Mr. D.B. Mehta, President-elect, Karnataka, CREDAI. Ms. Mamta, Joint Secretary, CREDAI, Karnataka. Mr. Vinod Pinto, President, CREDAI, Mangalore. Architect Apurva Bose Dutta, President, WICCI, Karnataka Architecture Council. And Architect Thomas Fritzsche, who has joined us from Germany, from Fritzsche Architect and Associates. Our successful 4th edition, ladies and gentlemen, requesting you all to please join us with a huge round of applause. As with this, we commence the Future Buildings and Smart Mobility Summit Bangalore edition 2026. Requesting our dignitaries to stand with their best smiles for a group picture. Thank you. Thank you so much. Requesting you all to please take your seats. Before we proceed further, we would like to take a moment to thank our co-sponsor, Schindler India, for their support, Knowledge Partner, Council of Architecture, Supporting associations Indian Green Building Council, Neredco Mysore, Neredco Karnataka, and WICCI Karnataka Architecture Council. To officially begin our proceedings, it is my pleasure to welcome Ms. Anishka Raghunath, the marketing strategist from Virgo Communications, to deliver the welcome address. She is a second generation leader carrying forward a legacy of excellence in the building and urban infrastructure industry. She brings fresh, dynamic ideas to the table, focusing on creating high impact platforms that connect key stakeholders across vertical mobility and smart building technologies. A huge round of applause as I welcome Anishka Raghunath.
Thank you, Shreya, for your kind words. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 2 of Smart Lift and Mobility 2026, and a bigger welcome to the Future Buildings and Smart Mobility Summit here in Bangalore, the 4th edition. Bangalore represents a complex urban condition. It is a city where economic growth and talent concentration have consistently pushed development ahead of infrastructure readiness. More broadly, South India is emerging as a blueprint of India's next phase of urbanization, driven by high density growth, infrastructure led development, a stronger focus on performance and livability. As a result, the challenges today is not only growth alone, but how the growth performs over time and how well it supports people who live, work, and move through the city. This is where the relevance of FBSM becomes clear. Across Indian cities, development is entering a phase where buildings are taller, land parcels are tighter, and systems are deeply interdependent. Decisions made at the planning and design stage now have long-term implication on building performance, mobility efficiency, safety, and everyday usability. At Virgo, platforms under smart lift and mobility have been structured to respond to this shift. The intent is to move conversations beyond isolated solutions and towards alignment between stakeholders who shape how cities actually function. These platforms exist to enable informed dialogue at a time where coordination matters more than ever. In a city like Bangalore, this alignment is especially critical. The city is seeing intensified development, emerging high density corridors and layered infrastructure networks simultaneously. This places pressure on movement systems, vertical circulation, parking strategies, and operational planning. It also demands stronger integration between intent and execution. Today's agenda reflects these realities. The discussion ahead will examine readiness for higher urban density, functionality with compact development, and the role of technology in supporting efficient and livable environments. From questions around density and urban performance to the evolution of automated parking systems, today's conversations are grounded in challenges in the industry that are actively being addressed. What connects all these discussions is a shared focus on performance. Not only how cities are built, but how they operate over time. Now, not only what is delivered, but how it functions at scale. On a personal note, my association with this platform has evolved. Having grown up around smart lift and mobility, I now engage with it from a position of responsibility. The focus for me is relevance in ensuring that platforms continue to reflect how the industry is changing and what professionals are facing on projects today. This perspective comes from working closely with my parents, Anita and Raghu, alongside the Virgo team, and that delivers platforms like this year after year. This priority is now continued with accountability. Before we move into the session, I would like to make a few special acknowledgements. We are honored to have our chief guest, Mr. Bhaskar T. Nagendrappa, President of CREDAI Karnataka, as well as the rest of the CREDAI Karnataka team. His perspective brings valuable industry context to conversations around large-scale urban development and growth. Our keynote address, architect Dinesh Verma, Principal Architect and Managing Director at ACE Group Architects, will set the tone for the day with insights on how thoughtful design respond to interesting density, increasing density, and complexity. We also look forward to hearing from the Association President, Architect Apurva Bose Dutta, and our partner presentations from Schindler and Gallagher Security. Alongside these, we are joined by our esteemed speakers across architecture, real estate, mobility, building services, sustainability, and technology, who will contribute their expertise throughout the day. I would also like to thank our partners and co-sponsors who make this platform possible. A special thank you to Schindler, our co-sponsor, for their continued support and association with Smart Lift and Mobility. Alongside with our supporting association, IGBC, Naredco Mysore, Naredco Karnataka, and WICCI Karnataka Architectural Council. And finally, a thank you to all our delegates present here today. Your engagement is what gives purpose to these conversations. As we begin the session, I encourage you to participate actively, ask questions, share insights from the ground, and use this platform to engage beyond individual projects and think about a larger urban space. Thank you, and I wish you all a very insightful day.
Thank you, Anishka. I would now like to invite our chief guest, Mr. Bhaskar T. Nagendrappa, President CREDAI Karnataka, to the stage. A respected leader in the real estate ecosystem, Mr. Nagendrappa brings deep insights into the urban development, housing policy, and sustainable construction. As President of CREDAI Karnataka, he has been at the forefront of shaping progressive dialogues between the industry and the government, driving growth that aligns with India's evolving urban aspirations. He has earlier served as the President of CREDAI Bangalore 2021 to 2023, and at the national level, he has been a key contributor as Chairman of the Skill Development Committee at CREDAI National. His presence today adds immense value to discussions around future-ready buildings, integrated mobility, and collaborative frameworks required to only build smarter and more livable cities. Requesting you to please join me with a round of applause as we welcome Mr. Nagendrappa to please join us.
Good morning, dear friends. Thank you for having me here, and distinguished all the guests who are here, and the professionals and the industry people and friends. Indeed, I mean, we are going through a transformational change. Change is something which is constant and which keeps evolving and which keeps happening. But today, the pace at which we are changing, or the evolution is happening along the infrastructure or the technology. I mean, be it all the verticals, I mean, it's humongous. And we are talking about the urbanization or the suburbanization. The migration globally is at the highest level in India today as we speak. And the cities are evolving. The real estate industry from 200 billion in 2024 to currently 650 billion, and we are talking about a trillion economy as far as the only real estate in India is concerned. And very recently there was a paper published also where in which, I mean, we have crossed 20,000 crores as far as tier 2 and tier 3 cities for southern India is concerned. I mean, we are expected to cross 60,000 crores in the coming 5-6 years. So that being the background or the opportunity, I mean, today it's a humongous kind of an opportunity for all of us to be successful as long as we are reliable, trustworthy, and transparent, and we are there to deliver. Today we are not talking about money is one aspect of the business whenever we are doing, but time is money. So I mean, every industry or every aspect, every task holder or every person individually involved in any of our project in real estate, the time essence is what we have been talking about, and that is where it also, I mean, comes with the aspects of quality. And our dear friend also was mentioning about the construction and the technology and the adoption of safety and other various measures. Going forward, I mean, things are going to be changing, and as we said, I mean, this is a transformational phase what we are going through. Entire industry, though we are real estate is not an industry status holder currently as we speak, but we are going through that phase in which, I mean, we are becoming more and more organized, more and more professional, more and more transparent. The entire industry is becoming more reliable. So what we are talking about is the frustration of the past to confidence of today, and the celebrations of tomorrow is going to be the entire scenario. These cities, what we are talking about, they are not only the mere, growth engines of this country, but they are the aspirational aspects of each and every citizen who is going to be living there. So we also need to come out to the or meet to the expectation of the aspirations of the people ultimately who are going to be occupying that. Talking about the lift and the mobility and the technology, the way South India has evolved, especially Karnataka or the entire. I mean, I'm very happy to, say that or, share this information. We are one of the highest contributors to the Indian economy. And our per capita income in the southern India is at the highest, if you look at pan-India basis. So all the 5 states, it's not only Karnataka, be it Tamil Nadu, be it Andhra Pradesh, be it Telangana, or even Kerala to that matter. So we are very much part and parcel of this journey of, transformation. So there are bigger, greater opportunities for all of us. It all depends on how transparent, how committed, how disciplined we are going to be here. All these factors are going to be the influencers or the catalyst for our success. So in simple anyway, since we have domain experts here talking about the mobility and other things. In simple, even the lift vertical, transformers now today, we are talking about one of the, because when we are talking, civilization happened along the source of water in India. Today, habitat or civilization is happening along the infrastructures. So, when it comes to building, lift element is also one of the greater infrastructure today. Lot of projects are, pushed for lack of infrastructure, that is lack of lift and things like that. So, there are a lot of projects which are even coming for redevelopment. So, there is a big, great opportunity for all of us. So, I do not want to be, taking too much of time, but only in simple, I can just tell you that the great days and times are ahead for us. India is at the moment what we are talking about is a reality. There was always a talk only happening. Today we can see the alignment between the talking and the walking. So walk the talk is happening. So we are all in the right place in right time. It is up to us to take this opportunity to, the way we want and take it forward also and be part of this great journey of transformation, not only economically, even socially also. So the way things are, the cities are evolving, the infrastructure is evolving, the buildings are evolving, everything is going. I still remember just 20 years back when we used to talk about technology. We used to say India cannot match. So in the today we are in par with any of the technological this thing. If we talk about only Bangalore city itself as it is, historically, if you see, Bangalore was an agricultural-driven economy. Subsequently, we had public sectors, electrical or electronics and information technology, biotechnology, and now to add to that, Aero City and technology related to aerospace. So we are at the fantastic position, and it all, as I said, depends on our willingness to be part of this journey in a very professional, transparent, reliable manner. So I request, as far as the lift industry is also concerned, one thing any developer today is looking at, quality and service. Service, when I'm talking about the post sales also, today lift is not an anymore, luxury, element. It has come to an individual homes also, not only in the tier 1 cities, even in tier 2 cities. So our potential is big. I wish you all the best, and I wish Anita and her team a greater success, and all the participants a meaningful and impactful kind of an event. And thank you very much once again for having me here. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I picked the line and I quote from what he said, that good times are here for the south of India and of course for India on the whole. And I think it's been very evident seeing how Karnataka is growing and how we also see the other states of southern India growing. Anita and Raghunath are felicitating him for being here. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I think he set the tone for the plans ahead for the real estate and the design fraternity. Our next speaker represents the voices shaping our built environment. I welcome architect Apurva Bose, the president of WICCI Karnataka Architecture Council. She is an author, award-winning architectural journalist, curator, editor, educator, and president of the WICCI Karnataka Architecture Council. Widely recognized for leading global training initiatives in this domain, she has emerged as a strong and influential voice in contemporary architectural discourse. Her 2-decade-long professional journey has helped shape narratives around the built environment through international collaborations and global representations. As the president of the first ever Council of Women Architects in Karnataka, she is committed to advancing the profession through innovation, advocacy, and collaboration. Her address will focus on reinventing her space, women in architecture. Over to you, Architect Apurva Bose. And let's welcome her with a round of applause. Thank you so much.
A very good morning to all of you, Honorable Chief Guest, dignitaries, and dear guests. Let me begin by congratulating you, Anita, Raghu, Shreyal, and your fantastic team at Virgo Communications for organizing such an important event for our industry, and thank you for having me here today. I have been in the architecture and design industry for over 2 decades, and I work at the intersection of architectural design writing, thinking, discourse, communication, and curation. The core of what I do is to help raise a voice when it comes to the built environment, whether it is in terms of perspectives, trends, journeys of those involved, issues of the built environment, and potential solutions. One of the additional roles that I have recently taken is empowering women in the architecture and design sector through my presidentship of a collective dedicated to this cause. I have the great privilege and pleasure of introducing to you all today the WICCI Karnataka Architecture Council, the first ever community of women architects in Karnataka. When Anita reached out to me a couple of months ago requesting for a collaboration, at that time I saw this collaboration simply as a way for us to contribute to the discourse around the built environment. However, over the past few weeks, as I noticed the list of the speakers for the summit, which included very less women, I realized that our connection with the summit had to be much deeper. Over the decades, women have played strategic and vital roles in the built environment. However, their spaces and positions have not received the recognition and visibility that they deserve. Therefore, reinventing her space, as my title suggests, is about reinventing their space so that women can be acknowledged, be more visible, and receive equal opportunities in the AEC industry. Let me familiarize you all with the WICCI Karnataka Architecture Council. It is a non-profit organization built under the aegis of the National Architecture Council of WICCI, Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The council leadership includes a governing council led by the president and the vice president, along with several governing council members. I'm sure you recognize these remarkable women across Karnataka who have been contributing to the built environment through architectural design practice, urban planning, heritage conservation, design education, sustainability, writing, discourse, and research. We are a fairly new council. The official launch was on 26 September 2025. To briefly describe the role of our council, we serve as a collaborative space for women in the field of architecture and design, focusing on advancing the profession through innovation and collaboration. We are led by a governing council of women architects across Karnataka. We focus on empowering women professionals, especially in the local region. We aim to provide motivation, resource, and support to women to develop their skills, grow, and advance their careers. And we encourage dialogues and initiatives that can foster systemic change within the AEC industry. To understand the need for such a collective, I would like to present some statistical data. The raw data was provided by the Council of Architecture, from which I derived some interesting insights. Here is the data on student enrollment in architectural schools in India over the last 5 years. What you see on the screen is the total number of enrollments, as well as the number of females and males enrolling over the past 5 years. Some key inferences made from this data: there has been a dip in overall enrollments over these 5 years. The percentage of female enrollments compared to males has always been higher. Also, the percentage of female to male enrollments has increased from 2020 to 2024. Next is the analysis I drew from the raw data provided on the number of registered and active architects in India. In India, the trend is that the number of registered as well as active female architects is lower or almost equal to that of their male counterparts. However, if we have to speak about Karnataka, Karnataka has more registered and active female architects than their male counterparts. To draw a comparison here are the states and union territories in India with more or an equal number of registered and active female architects. India also has some exclusive BArch and diploma institutes for women in architecture. If we look at all this data, where the number of enrollments of girls in architectural colleges has always been higher than that of boys, where the number of registered and active female architects is nearly the same or greater than their male counterparts, and there are also some exclusive architecture and design institutes for women in India, these statistics ask a key question: where are all the women architects? Why don't we get to see and hear about them as much as about their male counterparts? This is precisely where an organization like the WICCI Karnataka Architecture Council steps in. Coming to the key focus areas of the WICCI Karnataka Architecture Council for this term, these are some of our key focus areas in the next 2-3 slides. Some are short-term goals, some are mid-term goals, some are long-term goals. So starting from leadership development and increased representation of women architects, to their mentorship, to initiating gender-sensitive practices at workplaces. I'm not reading out all of them. They are all out on our social media handles. But our main goal is to empower women in architecture by promoting mentorship and collaboration, raising awareness of key issues, strengthening capacity and support, and engaging with institutions and the government to ensure the representation of women in decision-making forums related to the built environment. While a lot of background work is ongoing on these key focus areas, whether through research, master classes, workshops, knowledge sessions, discussions, and networking sessions that are all being planned, here is what we have initiated in the past 4 months. We have initiated a free membership for women architects across Karnataka. We have also initiated a campaign called Beyond the Blueprint, through which we are trying to connect with those women who left architecture midway. We are also developing a global database of women architects who have pursued alternative career paths, and we have initiated the global database of women architecture writers. We had our inaugural event in December beginning, where we had 3 powerful women across industries who came and spoke about their journeys. Then we collaborated with Bangalore's much loved festival, Design Uru, in December, where we curated and had a panel discussion on the empathy edge, the women in architecture. 2 weeks back, we had the global name in ecofeminism, Dr. Vandana Shiva, who graced our platform. We have a number of online programs lined up. On 19th, we have a special program on the importance of networking and financial confidence in women. On 12th March, we have architect Brinda Somaya and designer Michael Foley grace our platform. And on 27th March, we will be having our first offline event. We are on social media if you would like to know more about our work. In conclusion, I would like to add, WICCI Karnataka Architecture Council seeks to create a powerful platform for women architects to collaborate, advocate, and innovate to enhance the built environment. Since the enhancement of the built environment benefits all of us in the industry and beyond, I would like all of you to recognize the tangible and intangible gaps caused by gender biases. Ultimately, for the benefit of both the profession and the society, we all need to come together and make a difference. Let's work together and create an impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Architect Apurva. Anita, requesting you to please present the token of gratitude to her. Next up, I would like to welcome our keynote speaker for today, Architect Dinesh Verma, Principal Architect and Managing Director, ACE Group Architects Private Limited. Architect Dinesh Verma has 40 years of design experience across a diverse portfolio of architectural projects, describing his professional style as versatile. As the Managing Director of ACE Group Architects, he has grown the firm into a multidisciplinary practice. He is a former president of the Designers Guild and the Practicing Architects Association, and previously served as a chairperson of the IIID Bangalore chapter. Currently, he serves as a managing editor of Antarya, contributing significantly to the architectural and interior design narrative across India. Thank you so much for joining us today, Architect Dinesh Verma. The stage is yours now.
Very warm welcome to all of you, and a big thank you for calling me here today. It's been a pleasure always, sort of sharing experiences and then trying to meet people and come to know what's happening around. And especially after listening to what Mr. Bhaskar said as to what's happening to India, that yes, it's on the way up. We are all with it. We are all trying to work towards it. And Apurva, of course, a lady with a major, dashing thing. The amount of writing she does, the type of articles she puts in, and now what she's doing in WICCI is really amazing. All the best, Apurva. Well, coming back to what I've been here for, we are growing, yes, we are going multi-fair, we are going in geometric progression. But the question always is, where are we going? Is it the right direction? Are we moving in what we were supposed to move, or are we sort of going haywire? And these are some of the questions which I would like to put in today to the audience. Is it okay that yes, we just grow haphazardly in any direction? Or as human beings, we also need to have a direction. We are one of the most confused classes if you see. We never know as to what we are looking forward to. But that particular line, that we never know what we are looking forward to, has made us grow and innovate. And that is what we are looking forward to. So architecture, as what we said, the architecture of urban infrastructure, it began as a protection. Architecture was never a part of design. What we have to look back and see as to where it all began, to understand as to where we are going. We all started looking forward to some type of a shelter. We wanted to sort of be sustained. We wanted to be that, yes, we want to be protected. We wanted to be protected from whom? If you look back, you see the first slide on top. We were always, Bhaskar also mentioned, we sort of started our evolution next to water body, because that's one of the main things which is required. We started our evolution where we made our huts, we sort of got together, we said, let us protect ourselves. The protection from ourselves was from whom? From nature, yes, from animals. And we started making something like a fence all around. And that's how the evolution started growing. As we started growing, we sort of, made things, we started trading things. And when we started trading things, things began to change. The trading part of it led us further into different types of evolutions. One of the biggest evolution which has ever taken place is the invention of the wheel. The wheel which today you call it as mobility. And that's what it's all about. It is that one invention which changed how we all behave, how we move around, how we go up and down, and what our future is like. Our mobility further from just being there, you see how the things are growing. The moment we started trading, the moment we sort of grew slightly further than what we wanted, started the problem. We started getting attacked by others because human beings, they cannot see the growth of somebody else. They always want to be on number one. They always want to be, yes, I have captured you. Whether it is somebody else or your own self, you want to capture yourself and grow. And that is what started off with the change from shelter to design. We never made our places to protect ourselves from other human beings. And today, we are designing all our buildings to protect ourselves from other human beings and not from animals as what it was originally meant for. A big, big change, and we should never imagine that yes, this is where we are leading into. We are growing further. We are now from the early times where the river water is the same. We have now made bridges. We have other things which are going around. We have now made something like a railway station. We are now making further as aeroplanes. And we are sort of moving towards the city, where the same area, we are converting it from a small town where we were just a couple of people to something which is so big that yes, it's become like a total jammed space where we can hardly breathe, where we can, just see as to what the thing of what we are doing. We have not even left the underground part of our soil. We have jam-packed our roads, the street traffic levels. The buildings are just sort of, hugging each other. We have compromised on the open spaces. Our air, what we are talking about today, is totally full of heat and pollution. Now, did we look forward to something like this, or it has just happened? If it has just happened, then we need to sort of look back and see as to what went wrong and what had to be done to make all these things right. You will not believe it, that even we have not left Mother Earth from pollution. In an urban environment, out of every 3 persons who are dead, 2 of them whom we bury them with all types of toxins. We bury them with all types of medicines. We bury them with all types of things which have come from the hospitals, and we don't even worry about it. Imagine what is happening to Mother Earth today. It is something which we need to sort of look back and get into it. We just cannot go ahead like this. We call it, yes, we are progressing. We call it, yes, we are moving towards the top. But then you have to look back and see, are we really doing that? Or are we moving in the wrong direction? This is something which I just wanted to bring it out to your notice that yes, progress is there. We are progressing. But don't we need to take a deep breath and see whether we are moving in the right direction or not? Don't we need to take a deep breath and then look back and see whether what has gone wrong and rectify it? Today when we look around and we see our buildings, architecture is no longer just that. It's now become more of an infrastructure. And if you see the buildings which are now coming up, it's more and more of the infrastructure. The length of the cabling in every building has gone up substantially. The length of the ducting in every building has gone up tremendously by kilometers. We are talking of all types of infrastructure which has got into the building, which originally was not there at all. We never started our buildings with infrastructure. Now we have come down to infrastructure, and we have come to such a thing that without infrastructure in a building, you can't survive. And mobility is also a part of it. We have started believing in the technology now, which was not there before. Sometime before, the upper floors of a building would not get you any rent or would not give you a good price because we never believed in technology. Today, we believe in technology because we know that lifts are definitely going to take us to whatever number of floors we want. We believe that power definitely, if it goes off, we have a backup like a generator which will definitely work. That has become the change. And that is what is sort of growing now further and further. We are getting into things which are in broad mobility. I spoke about energy. What about water? And the ecology which we are talking about. And it's all these things which sort of form the community. Today, when we look around for a building, and when we are looking forward to now doing something for tomorrow, I would say that we have to divide all this into three major parts. We should look at the pre-planning, and in our country, this is just not happening. People come to us for designing buildings and they want the result tomorrow. They feel that just because the office is computerized, we have something which is automatic and it will be there. Or we have something called AI now, which if you just feed in a number of words, it will give you these things. This is absolutely, absolutely wrong. We need to have the right type of pre-planning if you want to move in the right direction. We need to have the right type of execution. During execution, we need to have the right type of discipline. If our execution is not disciplined, we are definitely not moving in the right direction. And of course, then we look forward to the construction and the final things. If your pre-planning and execution is fine, your end result will definitely be good. Otherwise, in the long run, it will definitely damage. And this is when we start the thing, when we start putting in questions whether it's okay, or if and only if we had done something like this, we would have moved in the right direction. Do you know that 30% of the building energy which goes into a building goes in for a waste? And we are not talking of anything small. Today our buildings are power guzzlers. We make the mistakes of putting lights all over. We make the mistake of putting the air conditioning system at about 21 degrees or 22 degrees where it is not needed. We make the mistake of putting the lights and all just next to the windows and the doors, where we already have a lot of natural light coming in. We need to sit down and see, yes, can we afford to do something like this? Or we need to relook at it. We just can't afford to waste 30% of the energy for our buildings. We also have other places. India, we do not talk so much about insulation and all, but we should look at the type of shading devices. In our country, we have a lot of sunlight. But how many times does an architect or a designer get where there's a plot of land and he can decide how to orient the building? The plots are already defined, the length and breadth is already there, and we need to have put in the best, the maximum, because the builder is always looking forward to the maximum FSI. How many times do we really get a chance as an architect to orient the building in such a way that the heat effect on it doesn't come and we save power? In our construction, we waste 15 to 25% of our materials. The amount of material which is wasted at the end, and when you see the clearing which is going on in the last 1 month of the building, it is tremendous. Why do we waste so much of material? Why do we over-order? Can't we have something where we order just the right amount of material and then use it? Why do we have to always say, fine, we might need it, or our estimations go wrong, or, we do not use the right type of BIM or other facilities which are there today, to see that we just order the right quantities and we do not waste material like this. 15 to 25% is not a small thing, let me tell you, gentlemen. It's a huge amount, and all this goes off as land waste. It's not only that. When these debris is being picked up and then being taken out, you should see the type of chaos it sort of does all around the roads, all the way up to the landfills. Our projects never sort of stick onto the budget. All our projects, not one or two, but 80% or more of the projects, they run over the budget, which is also not correct. It is all because of no planning or poor planning. It's all because our construction methods are not right. It's all because we have not done the right type of exercise. Can we afford to have something like this? Especially when it's a growing economy, especially when the number of buildings which are going on, and if every building is going to overrun, imagine the amount of extra money which is being spent on the buildings. Look at the amount of water which we use. Would you believe it that our construction in our country, for every 1 square feet of construction, we use 80 to 100 liters of water. It is a huge amount. And if you are able to save that water, you can feed the city of Bangalore for more than 2 months. That's the type of water requirement what we have for our construction. Right from the cement, this thing, for the marble polishing, to the marble cutting, to masonry, to plastic, for everything we need water. Are we going in the right direction? Or we need to look further and think? I'm just putting in questions and questions to see whether what can be done by us people consciously to see that we grow and what we grow in the right direction. What about the noise pollution which is going on? I was in Japan, and you won't believe it what I saw. The building construction which is going on had a periphery all round, and all around there were what is called as meters. They are audio meters which continuously record the amount of sound which is being made inside the construction. And the moment the amount of sound which is generated inside by the construction goes beyond a particular point, it starts beeping. That is the type of consciousness which is required during construction. That we do not make a chaos for the buildings and the neighborhood. We have to be conscious. We need to get these things back into our society so that things like noise, things like dust, things like overspending, all these do not happen. Then only our industry will be moving up in the right direction. What do we think we should do? A couple of more questions. We have something called FAR. FAR is always on the width of the place or the type of intensity and things and all. Have we ever thought that we should link FAR to the number of carbon credits which the building is happening? Can we give some extra FAR to the building because it has earned carbon credits for the place? What about the sanctions? We just say, fine, you have the thing. Nobody talks about water, from where are you going to get, you drill the number of bore wells and things and all. Can we get the permission only after demonstrating that yes, this building will have a net positive effect on the ecology? We still don't talk about it. It's only on paper. We try to get the okays from IGBC and things and all, but that is just a very little part of it. Buildings which we are talking about today are not only just for today. Remember, the buildings which are designed in 2025, constructed in 2026, are definitely going to live and be there till 2050. That's the minimum age of a building which we are going to have. Are we ready for all that? We do not have expiry date for buildings. If we want to progress, should we think of an expiry date? Everything has an expiry date. Can we define expiry date for buildings? We need to look at all these questions to see as to how do we go ahead. Should we reward the building and give it a memento or the best designed building just because it is newly constructed? Or should we give the best price to the building after it has completed 20 years and really proved that the building was worth it and it has not created any problem? We have to look at all these type of things to see whether the building which we are doing, the environment which we are creating, the type of jungle which we are talking about today doesn't go further. What are we leading into? There's definitely a major amount of change which is happening in this building. Our social relevance to the building connect is totally, you see where are we going? We used to feast. Indians were known to have food. Our food, the dining table, the kitchens and all used to be so big. From there, we have come down to a culture of a burger. It is just so small. And where are we leading to? We are leading to something which is called as a protein bar. And that one protein bar is going to say, fine, oh, today I had gobi masala and bhai manchurian. Right? What type of impact will it have on our buildings, on our houses? They say, so we eat, so we excrete. If we are going to have a protein bar, which 100% is going to be absorbed in our body, do you think we are going to excrete anything? Will we need toilets? Big question for tomorrow. We are talking about buildings of tomorrow. What about our kitchens? The kitchens in our house used to be the place where the entire activity throughout the day was happening. It's become a counter. Rather, it became a counter. And today, we just have a phone call and the food arrives home. What is the future of kitchens in our houses? Will we need the kitchen? The previous slide, I questioned whether we need toilets. Now I am questioning whether if we go ahead this way, will we need kitchens? So what are we looking forward to in the future of our buildings? I was in the US some time back, and there the real estate people, when I went around, the bedrooms are shrinking, and the toilets and the bathrooms have become big rather. And when I asked why, they were all talking of something which is called, they said, we are talking of wake-up time. And you know what is wake-up time? The amount of time when you are really awake and you spend in the house. You spend more wake-up time in the bathroom rather than in your bedroom. So why should the bedroom be bigger than your bathroom? And that is what the real estate people in US are talking about. Is that a change you are looking forward to? Is that something which you are doing it for tomorrow? That is where we are all leading to. But then let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we are human beings and we dream. We dream, and because we are people who can dream, we progress, we move further. And what is the dream coming to now? The dream is, yes, we want to have what we want to choose and whatever it is we want to think, and that is what it is for tomorrow. So in a family, the husband wants to dream that he is in Sahara. So cluck, 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 the entire house, the projections start. Everywhere it is sand dunes and all that. The AC works and the temperature is 42, 45, 50 degrees. And then he starts feeling he's in the middle of Sahara, and in the house itself, he's feeling like that. At the same time, the wife wants to be somewhere in the hills of Alaska. And what happens? You don't even have to press a button. We are thinking of much beyond. Just the thinking of the mind just changes the entire thing. Entire place becomes snow. They are all projections, they are fake. And the temperature goes down to sub-zero. And you start feeling you are in Alaska. Now that is the type of thing which you are looking forward to future. The child feels he should be in the moon. So his room will become as if, he's been sort of like an astronaut moving around on the moon. So that is what we are leading to. That is what we are sort of getting into. And what we are getting into now is nothing but like a dream. And I'm sure we human beings have the capacity of making our dreams come true. Thank you very much. Thank you for all your time and thank you.
It's always only a pleasure to hear architect Dinesh requesting Anita and Raghunath and also Anishka to join us on stage to present a memento to architect Dinesh. I think he brings his own kind of energy which can only come from an experience of 40 years in design. A huge round of applause once again for our keynote speaker, architect Dinesh Verma.